Downward facing dog. Take up a lot of space on your mat today. Hands are wide, index fingers are forward. Feet are about hip width, inner hip width distance apart. It's good to glance and make sure you've got that going on, right? And in today's practice, I want you to focus on, I mean, if you don't want to focus on anything, that's the point of doing yoga. But if you wanted to focus on one thing, I really want you to focus on the sides of your body and feeling like your body is always kind of the shape of this yoga mat. Like it's always a rectangle in a sense. You've got your hands, you've got your feet, you've got your hips, and the side of your body lifts you up, and your pelvis always stabilizes you. So you really feel strong from the outside in and from the inside out. Bend behind your knees as much as you need. So if you're just entering our little Zoom yoga room here, just make sure your little red microphone is got a little X in it, so we know you're muted. If you're not sure, just double check. Bend behind your knees as much as you need. Let your head, your neck, your jaw, everything just go. Lift your hips up a little higher. We're holding a little longer. I want you to really feel this down dog. Really feel your body. And know that you can modify. You can modify the entire practice if you need to. Right, you could take every modification I offer. You could go, as I say, balls to the wall and do everything. Good, Jody, I see you got in, great. Couple more breaths. Spread your palms wide, feel your hands press, feel your toes activate. Lift your hips up a little higher. And then in one motion, just roll forward to plank, stack your body nicely. So the first down dog to plank, you kind of want to utilize that to make sure the alignment is set up for you. And I know for me personally, when I feel tired, the first thing that happens is I sag my hips. Lift your hip points up. Feel the sides of your body. Feel your hands. Feel your gaze just move a little forward. And bring your weight a little more forward. And once again, the modification here is just to simply drop your knees. And this is going to create a lot of support and just as much intensity. Hold. Begin to use your Ujjayi breath. Inhalation is through the nose to the back of your throat. Exhalation is also through your nose through the back of your throat. And then see if you can start to match the inhales and exhales as you hold plank a little longer. Broaden across the upper shoulder blades. Feel your outer arms grip in. Draw the navel to the back of the spine. Contract the thigh bones. Hold. Inhale the breath. Exhale, feel a little more. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank. Stack your body. Your dristi goes forward. Your knees can drop if you need to. With the gaze looking to the edge of your mat, plank walks here. You can just take your right hand out to the edge of your mat and your left hand out. So it's a longer plank. Yeah. So any of this stuff that I incorporate into my practice, I always do it really slow so I can feel what I'm doing. Right hand steps back underneath right shoulder. Left hand steps underneath left shoulder. Now my right leg's gonna lift. I'm gonna bend my right knee in half, but I'm not opening my hip. I'm gonna fire up the thigh and flex the foot like I'm leaving a footprint on the ceiling. I'm gonna extend my right leg, bring the toe back to the floor, lift the left foot slowly, bend it to your knee crease, flex the foot, lift from the thigh, flex the foot. Don't make sure your leg isn't winging out. Draw the navel in. Straighten the left leg, lower the left foot down, bend the elbows in half, chaturanga. Keep the gaze forward. Press back up, plank, downward facing dog. Take another big breath. We're gonna do it one more time. Breath out, roll forward, plank, pause. So my dad is in this class, and we're known in our family to do crazy shit on our birthday. His 40th birthday, I think he did like quarters at some crazy pace around the track. So be prepared. Look forward a little. Right hand out to the edge of your mat. Left hand out a little bit further. Do what you can. Right hand steps back underneath right shoulder. Left hand walks back underneath left shoulder. Right foot lifts. Bend at your knee crease, flex the foot, drive the thigh bone up a little higher, fire up your glute and your hamstring. Extend your right leg back, lower the right toes, lift the left foot up, hover it, then bend at your knee crease, draw the belly in, draw the waist in, fire up the thigh. Extend the left leg back. Lower the left foot down. Bend the elbows in half, chaturanga. Straighten your arms to a plank. Look forward an inch. Lower all the way down to your belly. Slide your arms forward. Palms are going to face down. I'm making a really long shape with my body. Once again, think about the outer edges of your body. Keep your gaze down. As you begin to lift up, I'm going to cactus my arms. My legs lift and my arms are going to cactus. Kind of like a lat pull down. My gaze goes forward. My legs just lift enough up off the ground that my hip points are pressing down. Draw the shoulder blades back. Keep the gaze forward. Keep the lift of the body. Slide your arms back forward. Palms face down. Keep the lift. Slide the shoulder blades back. Cactus the arms. Like a lat pull down, the neck stays long as the lift of the legs. One more. Reach the arms forward. Exhale. Hug the shoulder blades back. Slide the hands lower down to the where the belly button is. Relax the feet into the floor. Press yourself through an up dog. If up dog isn't available to you, don't take it. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Good. So we're going to work now from our down dog. Do the best that you can to stay with me here. You're going to look forward from your down dog. Step your right foot towards your right wrist. Drop your back knee. Keep the fingertips tented. So this is a psoas release. Your back knee should not be anchored and driving into the floor. You should have a nice angle. Now, feel like you're pulling your chest through your body like a little up dog. And I personally like to tent my fingertips. You can slide blocks or something underneath if you can't reach the floor. Work on wrapping your outer right thigh in so the leg doesn't wing out. Now to get out of this, you're going to activate your back leg, plant your palms firm, draw your navel in, step back in one piece, down dog. Look forward, step your left foot forward, drop the knee, slide the kneecap back, come to your fingertips. A little bit of an up dog in your chest. And just be patient. So we're exploring different ways to practice. It's really important to keep ourselves going, to keep our imaginations going, to be creative. Some things we like, some things we don't like. Plant your palms, integrate your back leg, feel your outer arms firm in, step back, down dog. Okay, here we go. Step your right foot forward. Keep the back knee lifted. Come to your fingertips. Pause. Once again, if the floor is too far, you just slide something underneath your hands. Back leg is strong. You're driving your right heel to the mat. Really important, ladies and gentlemen. Your right knee and your right ankle have a 90-degree angle. My back leg is strong. Plant my palms. From here, step right back, down dog. From your down dog, slide your left foot forward. Come to your fingertips. You're not coming up, you're gripping your hips, you're working on steering your left hip back, activating your right thigh bone, and just connecting with the feeling of your body and your breath. That's it, that's all you need to worry about. Hands come down, firm up those palms, think about your outer arms. Step back, one piece, down dog. It's not so graceful, it's okay. Good, keep moving. You're gonna step your right foot forward. Come to your fingertips. This time you're gonna hover your fingertips, they're gonna hover the mat. Steer the right hip back, feel the right heel. The fingertips are just kind of hovering from the ground. If it's too much, just keep your hands down. Draw your navel in, grip your hips in. Keep your gaze a little forward. Connect to Ujjayi breath. Take another big breath in. Plant the palms. From here, down dog. Grip the hands, feel the outer arms firm in, slide the left foot forward. Good, come to your fingertips to start, steer the left hip back, then pop yourself up enough that your fingertips hover. You're using your core, using your legs. Grip the outer hips in, your gaze is forward. Stay with it. Plant the palms, downward facing dog. Keep moving, right foot forward. Do it again. So we're growing the pose from the ground up. Come to the fingertips. Good. Drift the fingertips up. This time bring your hands to a prayer. So if you notice, I'm not lifting my whole torso. I'm hovering over my right thigh. I'm praying that my hands stay in a prayer. And they're drawing my navel in. Squeeze my outer hips. I'm going to begin to turn my ribs to the right just a little bit. So I'm air twisting. I'm air twisting to the right. I'm not hooking the elbow. I'm just keeping the side of my body really long. I'm looking a little right. Good, stay with it. Grip the hips, fire up the legs. You know you can always drop your back knee if you need to. Look down, tent the left hand, slide a block underneath if you need it. Right arm up, easy twist. When you twist, keep steering your right hip back, only twist from above your belly button. and then look up. See if you can stack your two shoulders neatly on top of one another, or have your right palm just on the flat part of your back. It's a good spot to be. Connect to your breath, press your right heel more into the ground, feel your legs. Good. Look to the floor. This time you're going to lean onto your left palm. You're going to roll into a Vinyasa side plank. You can modify by dropping the bottom knee if you need to, reaching the right arm up. Good. If right arm doesn't want to go up, it's okay. Take your hand to your hip. If you want more today, slide your hand to the back part of your head. Broaden the chest. Look up like it's you're looking underneath your armpit. Grip your outer hips, spark up your toes. If you have your hand behind your head, join me here. Keep it, look down, come to a plank, and then release your right hand to the floor. This time lower halfway chaturanga. Drag your chest through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, you're in a low lunge pause. No, you can always drop your knee. Good, come to the fingertips, slide the chest up so you're creating some space, and then bring your torso up just a little bit that your hands come to a prayer. Just pause here. Swing your left hip back just a little bit, fire up your right leg. Then begin to turn your ribs. I'm turning towards you, press the palm. So you're turning left, not hooking the elbow, keeping myself elevated and lifted. Feel your feet on the floor, keep creating that strong shape of your left leg, 90-degree angle. Look to the floor, tent the right hand, slide a block, take the left arm open. Hand can come to the flat part of your back, knee can always drop to the floor. Good. More breath, more feeling, more excitement into your body, into your breath, into your mind. Sit a little deeper. Look down, seamlessly move to your Vinyasa side plank. I'm going to show you a modification if you need one. The top leg bends to a 90-degree angle. My right leg is strong and straight. This is a great alternative. You can stack your 2 feet on top of one another. You can add the hand behind the head if you want more, but be mindful not to peel your hips open. They're stacked. Bottom knee can always come down. You take what you need from the practice. If you have your hand behind your head, join me here, look down, come to like this one arm plank, then the left hand comes to the floor. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, pull yourself through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog. Are we having fun? Step your right foot forward from your down dog, pause. Come to your fingertips, good. You're gonna pull your chest up just enough that your arms can reach forward. Steer the hips back, integrate the legs. Flip the palms like you're doing a lat pull down with the palms facing down. Draw the shoulder blades back. Stay here. Good. Do that again. Slide your arms forward like you're moving through molasses. Pull the arms back. Feel the sides of your body lift. You guys look great. Reach your arms forward. Pull the arms back. Keep the arms cactus. Keep the legs the way they are. Start to bring your torso up. Then slide your arms up towards the sky. High lunge. Get a little deeper into your front thigh. Feel the sides of your body lift you. Your hip points go forward. Your arms extend up. Couple more cycles of breath. Get a little deeper. Good. Hands come to the floor. From here, down dog. Down dog. Feel the sides of your body. Slide your left foot forward. Come to your fingertips. Steer the hips back. Reach your arms forward. So your torso is just hovering. Palms are going to face down. It's really important that the palms face down. So now I'm going to pull my shoulder blades back into their socket. I'm going to do this lat pull down. Steer the left hip back. Slide the arms forward. Move slow. Pull them back. Good. Again, reach your arms forward. Move with control. On breath, pull the arms back. Pause. Keep the legs engaged. Start to lift the torso. And then slide the arms up. So really the only thing that was changing was from your elbows to your fingertips. Left hip back, right thigh contracts, hip points lift. Bend into your left heel more. Slide the arms up a little bit higher. More breath, more feeling. Sit a little deeper. Hands come to the floor. Plant your palms, step back, down dog. Keep going, right foot forward. Come to your fingertips. This time turn your back foot onto its side. Yep, steer your right hip back. It's the same action, except the back leg is now in a warrior 1 foot. The blade of your foot presses, your arms reach forward. Steer your right hip back, your left ribs, your left thigh bone, drive it forward. Grab over the top of the head, you're gonna grab opposite elbows. Some of you are really tight in your shoulders, so if this is unavailable, just reach your arms back as an alternative. But if not, you're trying to create a little picture frame for your head. Grab onto opposite elbows, doesn't matter which one, because you'll try and repeat the other side. Anchor your feet into the floor. Find that shape through the legs, start to bring your torso up. Warrior one with these bound arms. Look forward. And then how can you work this out? Sit deeper into your front thigh. Take the left ribs a little bit more forward. Drive your left heel into the mat. Broaden across the front side of the body. Keep looking forward. Feel your feet. And then from your elbows to your fingertips, straighten your arms. Good. Sit a little deeper. More breath. We're alive. It's a good thing. Hands to the floor. Plant the palms. Down dog. Down dog. Firm up your outer arms. Step your left foot forward. Turn your back foot onto its side. Steer the left hip back. Stay low. Reach your arms forward. Reach your arms forward. Good. Really reach. Then opposite elbow, if you could remember. It's hard to believe I already forgot. Gaze goes forward. Your neck kind of wants to tuck in, so keep finding extension so your neck stays long. Anchor the outer blade of your back foot. Steer your left hip back. Keep your gaze forward. Keep the shape of your legs. Start to pull yourself up. Anchor the outer blade of your right foot. Broaden the sides of your body. Think about the sides of your body. Press into the outer blade of your right foot. Look forward. And I know for me, it helps me a lot to just think about taking my right ribs and moving them towards the front wall. Sit a little deeper. From your elbows to your fingertips, straighten your arms. Good. Hands come down. Downward facing dog. When you get to your down dog, roll forward to plank. Roll forward to plank. Good. Keeping the arms nice and engaged. Drop your knees so they hover. It's almost like you're going to go to a push-up, but with your knees down, but just let them hover. Good. Draw your belly in. Straighten your legs. Nice and slow. Engage the core. We'll do that a few times. Broaden. Hover the knees. Straighten the legs. Contract the thighs. One more time. Hover the knees. Broaden. Straighten the legs. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog. Hips press back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float to get there. Long spine on the inhale breath. Listen, if your hands don't make it, just bring them to your shins. Fold over your legs. Good. Separate your feet hips width distance for me. Sit into a very low chair pose. Bring your arms up with your feet separated. Yeah. Drive your heels into the mat. So we're going to work a little now from the top of the mat. Good. Feel the weight shift into your heels. If your arms feel stuck, guys, reach your arms back, but have your palms down. Right. That's a much better way to be. You can breathe. Press into your heels to stand. Your feet are hips width. Drag your hands to prayer. Okay, just a few actions of movement here. Stretch your arms up. Drop your seat. Good. Your feet are separated, guys. You can even slide a block or a pillow in between your thighs. Drag your hands to prayer. Air twist to the right. Don't hook. I want you to think about the outer edges of your body and really feeling that you can grip the thighs, the hips, the feet, the whole side of your waist, and not move it with you. You're only moving your ribs a little to the right. Now look right. Keep the shape of your legs. Keep rooting and grounding your feet. Pull around to that chair. Stretch your arms up. Press up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Stretch your arms up. Feel the fire from the ground up. Lower your seat. See if you can lower deeper. Drag your hands to a prayer. Air twist towards the left. Good. And just focus on the alignment. Like we get so caught up on like, I need to go to the deepest place, the coolest place, the craziest posture. It's all about the alignment. Drop your seat. Breathe into what you're doing here and just worry about the space that you're creating. Keep the legs strong. Pull around. Stretch your arms up. Shoot up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. You should feel something there. Feet come together now. Sit again into a chair now. Feet are together. Unless you prefer it the other way, that's fine. Hands come back to prayer. This time you're going to hook your elbow and twist. So now we get in there. Same action, same order of events. If this is not working out for you, go back to what we just did. It's a great alternative. Swing your hips back. Maybe you want to open up your arms this time. Dig your heels into the floor. Get in there. Good. Keep the shape of your legs wherever you are. Pull around to chair. Strong thunderbolt. Keep your right arm lifted. Slide your left hand to your hip. I'm going to reach for a block now. I'm going to float right into a half moon here. My block comes out in front of my right foot, about 10 inches. And my left hand comes to my hip. I'm grounding my right foot, and then I grow the pose. So focus on your right foot, gripping that right foot in, keeping it forward, contracting your right thigh, and then sliding the two arms so they're stacked like they were in a side plank. Maybe get lighter in your bottom hand. Maybe add the back bend if you feel like you need that, which is the chopasana. So you'll bend at your knee crease and you'll grab your ankle. The kick should go behind you for the back bend. And if you fall, that's good news. That means that you're playing your edge. Nice, Allison. Looks great, guys. Really nice work. Regular half moon. If you embellish, you add it on. If you're right where you just left off, come back to half moon. Look to the floor. The transition is easy and slow. Left hand comes down, square your hips, step your feet together. Sit back into chair. It always gets you somehow. Slide your hands to prayer. Stay engaged, stay focused. Keep the breath going. Hook the elbow and twist, other direction. Good. I'm not gonna lie, I like this pose much better without any heat. Yeah, it's like I can stay here a lot longer. I can breathe into it. It's so much more enjoyable. Good, keep telling yourself that if you're not liking it. Sit a little deeper, twist the ribs. Open the arms if you did on the other side, or just stay here. Keep the shape of your legs, it's really important. Pull around to chair, stay engaged. Bring your hand to your right hand to your right hip, slide your left arm forward. Reach for a block if you have one, if not, just make do. Keep the left leg grounded and open the top hip, half moon. Move with control, move concisely, move slowly, don't get ahead of yourself. Spark up your right toes. Lift your waist and then breathe. And if you feel the desire to move on, first bend the leg in half, like you get your heel to your butt cheek, then reach and grab your ankle, and then see if you can kick behind you. It's not necessary for a lot of us to move on. Some of us just need to stay grounded. Keep lifting the left ribs. Good, stay with it. Regular half moon if you embellish, if you've added on. So just float back, regular half moon. Good, look to the floor, right hand comes down. Square your hips, step your feet together. So your feet are together. Come to the fingertips, long spine, fold. We're gonna set up for a crow pose, okay? So crow can be taken so many ways. I want you to really focus on bringing your feet together. Keeping your feet together, plant your palms. If crow is not in your practice, you're gonna separate your feet for squat malasana. The second that the arches of the feet really split apart, the pelvis gets uneven. So place your knees as high up into your upper arms and then float yourself up into crow. If crow is not in your practice, that is totally fine. The alternative is squat malasana. Work on sitting up really tall. If you're in crow and you can go up into a headstand, that's awesome. If you can straighten your arms and work more into a crane pose, that's fantastic. If you're just working on playing on lifting one foot, maybe the other foot up off the ground, that's your sweet spot for today. Wherever you are, you're going to step or float back. Plank position to a chaturanga. If you're just stepping, upward facing pulls you through. Downward facing presses you back. You're going to roll forward to a plank position. Draw your right knee towards your right tricep. Hug your right knee in towards your navel. Step the right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot onto its side. Cartwheel open warrior two. The real estate's pretty big in warrior two. Yeah, I'm taking up a lot of space. I'm able to turn open my thigh, so my thigh bone rotates open and my arms broaden. Breathe. Your back foot is on an angle. And your tailbone drops. Reach across your body. Close your eyes. Yeah, embrace the pose. Where can you create more lightness in your body? It is possible. The pose will never be perfect. Pay attention that you're not turning your ribs. Require more strength from the ground up. Sit deeper. Empower yourself right here. Last few breaths. You guys all look fantastic, by the way. I just took a little peek. Open your eyes if they're closed. Yeah, keep the shape of your leg. So for today's practice, I want you to take your elbow and press it to the inside of your thigh with your palm open. Stretch your left arm up. Do that first. Yeah. Good. Then if you want to do something with your left arm, like you feel like you want to do something, you can either wrap it forward or you can wrap it behind you for a half bind. So start with this. If you feel that you want to go for the full bind, then you're going to wrap that bottom hand, that's the other elbow, the other hand, around, and you'll get hold of those hands. But this is a good place to be because it's using the elbow to remind you to get that external rotation, and you're not dumping into anything. You're using the strength of your legs. Twist the ribs, hook and tuck your right glute underneath you. Look off your left shoulder, just a few more breaths. If you added the left arm into the party here, just extend your left arm straight up, pull up, warrior two, warrior two. It never gets old, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, scooch your left foot in, take your right hand to your right shin. A block is great here if your lower back is not happy today. Place in its highest setting, but please go to the outside of your calf. Good. And then how can you get lighter here? You can stay right here. I'm going to add something into this if you want to do something else. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back and then work on turning the side of my body open towards the ceiling. So if you have a shoulder injury, I don't recommend that. But the other thing that you need to pay attention to is that you're not slamming the brakes on your right leg and going pin straight. Keep a soft bend in it. Yeah, especially if you know you're mobile. Look off the left shoulder. If you're trying this and you're like, I'm dying and I can't breathe, back out of it. Just do what you can. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. If you have your hands clasped, keep them clasped. If you don't, everyone's pulling themselves up. So my hands are still clasped. If your arms are not clasped, then just pull yourself up. Pivot your right foot in. Good. My hands are going to stay clasped. Inhale the breath, soften behind the knees. Exhale, fold. So if you want to add the hand variation now, you're welcome to. I have to bend my legs a lot to really access this pose. Most of us do. If having the hands bound is taking you out of your yoga practice, just release your hands and have them on the floor. Cut yourself some slack. Focus on lifting your hips and shifting your weight forward. Good. Stay. Two more. If you have your clasped hands, start to release them to the ground. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Pivot your hands to your right ankle. Pivot your right heel, your right foot forward. You're in a low lunge. Plant your palms firmly to the mat. Hug your right knee to your navel the way we started. Let the right knee drift towards the outer part of your right tricep. Slide the right foot back, plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Drag your chest to an up dog. Take a downward facing jog. All right, get excited. We're going to do it on the other side. You guys stay the way you are. I'm just going to pivot myself here for anyone who needs a view. Roll forward to plank. Take your left knee towards your left tricep. Keep looking forward. Hug your left knee in. Draw it in a little tighter. Feel your outer arms grip in. Keep that, and then step your left foot forward. Turn your back foot onto its side. Circle open, warrior two. What happens on the right has to happen on the left. And then settle in here. Broaden your arms, broaden your chest. If your whole torso is kind of drawing over the front of your left leg, see if you can move your waist and even yourself out. And the feeling that we start to create is a strong strength from your feet, strong engagement of the legs, an opening of the hips, a lift of the side body, and a committed upper torso because the arms are holding everything up. Couple more. Sit deeper. If you let your eyes close, good for you. Open them up if you want to. Take your left elbow, rest it to the inside of the left thigh. Kind of create that the energy like you're opening. Right arm can just reach up. Moving on, right arm can wrap forward from your bicep, you turn, or your arm can wrap behind you. If you want to go into a full bind, it's much easier to get into it this way. There's a lift of your side body. A lot of action to grip your hip, turn your ribs, and look off your right shoulder towards the ceiling. When you start to check out, come back just by using your breath. Keep feeling your feet on the floor, staying for a few more breaths. Hillary, it looks really nice. Any negative thoughts that come, let them go right now. I know they're arriving. Good work, Patty. Nice mark. Tuck your hip underneath you and you're in good shape. If you took a bind, release the bind, extend the right arm up, grip your feet into the mat, pull up, warrior two. Straighten your left leg, scooch your right foot in a little, begin to move your torso, triangle pose. If the lower back is sensitive, I really encourage you to stay up high. Yeah, stay up really high. The arms are stacked nicely, the inner thighs are working together, the feet are firm onto the mat, and the side of your body, as I mentioned early in the practice, is really lifted. If you want to add the arm variation, go ahead and clasp the hands. You can remember the opposite thumb, opposite pinky, take the opposite. And then the nature of our bodies, we want to turn, right? But I want to turn towards you. Yeah, lift of your left ribs. And then look off your right shoulder. Keep feeling the feet, feel the waist. If you have the hands bound, stay with me. See if you can keep them bound. If your arms aren't bound, just pull yourself up. Hands are bound. Pivot the left foot. My hands are bound. Inhale the breath, bend the knees, and fold. Good. One more time. Won't be a long hold. If there's something else you want to do here, like a tripod headstand, this is a good time to go upside down. Yeah, there's just going to be a few more standing poses, so it's a good opportunity here to go upside down if you have it. You can also just release your hands, walk your hands through your feet and take a different version of this. Let your head go though. If you went upside down, start to come out nice and slow. Maybe separate the legs, tap the toes to the floor. Nice work. Come to the fingertips. You're going to start to pivot forward. Pivot forward. The left foot is forward. Plant the palms. Grip the hips in, and then hug your left knee to your navel. Hug it in. And then let the left knee drift to the outside of the left tricep. Keep the outer arms really working. Keep the core engaged. Slide the left leg back, plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Pull your chest through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. If you do have blocks, just move them to the top of the mat for the next little sequence. This will be the last standing poses for today's practice. Do the best you can. From downward facing dog, step your right foot forward into a lunge. Come up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Julie, your favorite posture. Here we go. Bring your arms forward, shoulders wrap in. Yeah, wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Elbows are gonna lift. If this is unavailable, guys, go opposite shoulders, or hands can just come to prayer. Bend into your right leg a lot. The strength of your right leg is required here to really create a 90-degree angle. Float the left leg up, eagle pose. And sometimes this isn't so pretty getting into it from that angle. So do your best. Bend into your right leg. Lift your chest. You got it. Squeeze the legs. Steer the left hip back, the right hip forward. Lift the elbows up. Sit a little deeper. Things are about to get interesting. So the transition may require you to use your blocks. So if they're at the top of the mat, or if there's a wall or a chair or a step that you can reach for, it may be helpful. So stay with me the best that you can. First, unravel your arms. They go straight up. Then hug your left knee in. You can also just stay here. So I'm standing up on my right leg. My arms are energized. My left leg is bent in half. My arms are going to stay reaching forward. I'm going to begin to extend the left leg back for a warrior three. This would be a good opportunity if you have something to hold on to and your balance doesn't feel great. This is where your hands will stay in front of you. If you're working on more, arms will go forward. Keep the lift of your side body. Just a few of these to see what we can do. So we've been working on this. The arms are going to start to reach back. The left knee slides in. Okay, so it's like standing up, pressing into the right leg. There's a little bend in your right knee. The arms reach forward and the left leg extends out. Again, arms reach back, kind of like airplane arms. Left knee hugs in. Leg and arms reach forward, pause. Left hand comes down, right hand to the flat part of your back. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Good. So now if revolved Ardha is not in the practice, have both hands on the floor, being in the mended warrior three. This is a good place to be for today. I want everyone to be lifted with their back leg though. Draw the belly in. Yeah. Stack the two shoulders or just have your hand on the flat part of your back. Work on the side of your body, guys. Lift from the outer part of your legs and then work from lifting up from your inner thigh. Turn your ribs a little bit to the right and then look right. Look to the floor. Place both hands down. Take a giant step back. Drop your back knee. Slide your arms up. Supported lunge. Hands come to prayer. Aren't we having fun? Hook the elbow and twist. So I'm taking you from this direction because we don't want to burn out the muscle. So check in here. This may be enough for today. If you want to fire the kneecap up off the ground, that's up to you. But keep steering your right hip back and get in there. The lift of your ribs is really important. We're not holding for too long. Yeah, which means only 20 minutes, right? Look right, open up your arms if you want more. Scissor your inner and outer thighs together. Twist only where there's a rib. Another big breath in. Look to the floor, plant the palms, pause. One more thing we're adding in here. We're moving into a second round of Vashisthasana side plank. For those of the yogis that want to go into a bound Shavasana side plank, I'm going to do it here. Move with me. Left palm flat, roll to the outer blade of your left foot, okay? Start to reach, bend your right leg up and back, grab your right ankle behind you, and then kick the foot away from you. So it's a back bend and a side plank. You're close to the floor if you fall. If you're like, this is crazy, just drop your knee and take a supported version. Release the right leg, right arm up, plank position. Chaturanga, that was fun. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Here we go, last time today. Step the left foot forward, high lunge. You just do the best you can. So bring your arms forward, wrap them forward, not your whole torso. Stand up straight. Yeah, now I sound like my mom. Stand up straight. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm, bend into your left leg, and then slowly start to bring that leg up. See if you can wrap it around. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Steer the right hip back, bend into the left leg, lift the elbows. I feel the weight a lot in my heel. See if you can pull the shin back. And then squeeze a little tighter. Good, just unravel your arms. Do that first. Feel the left leg, press into it, and then hug your right knee in. You may choose to just stay here for a few more breaths rather than doing that other crazy stuff. Reach up with your arms, but if you want to try, start to float your right leg back. This is called balancing stick. It's a warrior three with your arms really forward. Yes, slide your hands down into blocks if it's too much. Have them there if you think you're going to lose it. Keep reaching your arms forward. Turn your right thigh down so the hip isn't open. Now, reach the arms back like airplane arms. Hug your right knee in. Bend into your left leg a little so it's not pinned straight. Keep your gaze forward. Slide the right leg back. Reach the arms forward. Move really slow, like you're in water. Slide the arms back, airplane arms. Hug your right knee in. Slide the right leg back, reach your arms forward, gaze to the floor, right hand down, left hand to your hip, revolved Ardha. Amended Warrior 3, if you feel like you can't support yourself. Just lift from your inner thigh. Feel the weight in your left heel and feel the side of your body really lifted. If you're able to stack the two shoulders, go for it, lift up. Another big breath in. Twist only where there's a rib. Look down, left hand to the floor, giant step back, drop the knee. Sweep the arms up, supported lunge. Hands come to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow and twist. If you feel better, more grounded with the knee down, just stay with this. This is a great posture. If you want to engage the back kneecap, lift it up and drive the heel away from the floor. Lift the torso, scissor the legs together. And then I'll encourage you to lean back just a tiny bit. Open up your arms if you want a little bit. These look fantastic. Two more. Look down, place both hands. We're gonna go into that variation of side plank with a bent top leg Chopasana. I'm gonna show the modified version for those that don't wanna take that. Right leg's gonna come down, left leg's gonna extend, I'm gonna kick back. This is a supported variation of this. Kick behind you with my knee down. If you're going for the full deal, you really have to ground your right arm. Another big breath. Look to the floor, plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana, nice work. Upward facing slides you through. Downward facing takes you back. Slide your right knee forward, half pigeon, thank God. Half pigeon, and fold. Yeah. If this doesn't work this morning, or this afternoon, depending on where you're calling in from, lay on your back and take ankle to knee. That's a figure 4. Allow your body just to melt into this pose. Stay here, or for the last few breaths, if you'd like to add king pigeon into this pose, you can. So you'll pop yourself up, slide your left hand to the side of your left hip, bend your left leg in half. You can get your foot to the crease of your elbow. Ideally, that's where we're going. A lot of you can probably bind. I'm not able to bind today. You want to keep wrapping your left ribs forward. So the bind would be your right arm up. I don't have it today. Left ribs forward. If not, just stay in a half pigeon and breathe. If you took the king, release the leg. If you're in half, join us. Downward facing dog. Just step back. Good. Slide your left knee forward, half pigeon on the other side. So nothing fancy about the transition. Just get into it. Let yourself just melt forward. And just reminding you, because not all of your screens are lit up, I want to make sure that everyone isn't rolling to their left into what I call dying pigeon. So your right thigh bone has to be down. Right. So see if you can work that out. And give yourself just a few more breaths before we move on, if you're taking the next thing. So if this feels good for you, just stay here. If you'd like to try adding the king, come up first, bend your right leg. The foot should come kind of naturally into the crease of your elbow. So if it's really a struggle, some of you are struggling, Don't worry about it. Turn the right side of your body forward. I actually keep my left hand here because it's keeping me up. If you're able to add the bind, go for it. If not, just stay with me. We're just staying half pigeon. Good, couple more. If you grab for the foot, let the foot go. Everybody press themselves up. Swing around into the left side of your seat and take both feet to the floor. So we're going to work on some boat to Ardha Navasana. So Navasana to Ardha Navasana. So this is Navasana. My legs are bent in Navasana. The legs can be straight. This is Ardha Navasana. I want you to remember that you could drop your forearms down. So this could be Ardha Navasana. This could be Navasana, okay? So if your lower back, Amanda, this is good with your arms down if your back is sensitive. Navasana, give it a try. I'm going to do it with my legs bent and really focus on drawing in. My arms can be forward. Good. Navasana, that's going to, Ardha Navasana, you're going to hover. Good. Navasana, you're going to move slow. Ardha Navasana, hover. Neck stays long. Navasana, pull yourself up. Do the best that you can. Ardha Navasana, hover. One more. Navasana, it's getting harder. Reach forward. Ardha Navasana, hover. Reach your arms forward. Good. Lift your legs straight up on an angle so it's 90 degrees. Your arms reach forward. Draw your navel in. Lift your shoulder blades up. Your legs are strong and straight like your legs are up a wall. Keep reaching your arms forward. Try not to reach through your neck. Reach through your core. Reach your arms to touch your toes. Try to get your fingertips to touch your toes. Lift up a little more. Keep the legs lifted. Start to let your arms drift back. Let them hover behind you. Hold. Lift a little higher. Hug your knees to your chest. Take your feet flat to the floor. We'll set up for bridge, supported bridge, wheel pose. We'll take 3. I'm really into a block. It feels really good for me right now. Underneath my back. The block can be faced low, medium, or high, depending on the range of motion that you have in your lower spine. I'm sliding the block under the flat part of my back. If you don't have a block, scoop up your hands, slide a pillow underneath. You want to create a back bend through your upper shoulders. Your feet root into the floor, your inner thighs turn in. Keep thinking about the sides of your body. To stay here, if you want to move on, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. Exhale the breath, bring yourself up into a full wheel. If you're in supported bridge, you'd like to add a leg lift. You can lift one leg. You can do them independently. You can lift both legs and be more of a supported back bend. If you went up into full wheel, tuck your chin, come out with control. Let's take one more together. Good, so if you notice, my hands are interlaced around the block. That's helping me create a back bend. My legs are straight up. One more, if you're going straight up, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, exhale your breath. Wherever you're going today is your practice. So feel no pressure, there's no peer pressure, but just see if you can straighten out your feet for me. Yes, good work. Nice, Julie. Perfect. Exhale the breath. Bring yourself down when you're ready. Hug your knees to your chest, give them a big squeeze in. And let's take happy baby. I love this pose, dead bug. They're looking a little bit more like dead bug after this flow. Pull the knees down around the ribs. If you can't grab your feet, grab from the outer edges of your feet, grab behind your thighs. Think about lengthening your tailbone. Good, hug your knees to your chest. I like to take it two-legged. I'm gonna take a block in between my thighs, lift the hips a little to the left, and my two knees staying on top of one another into a supine twist. This can be done with an independent leg. I like the left arm out by my side body, my right palm to encourage my left thigh to drop closer to the floor, and just a really passive stretch. Start to move through center. The hips have to lift a little, and then you drop them over to the left. Having the block going the long direction helps a lot. Right shoulder down, left hand rests on the outer part of the right thigh. Just encourage that leg to drop a little more. And look right. Come up to center, move any objects that you have. Now is your time for Shavasana, complete rest. To set yourself up, we did it all. This is a great flow. So allow yourself the next couple minutes to just fall into the mat. Palms face open. Yeah, let go of your Ujjayi breath. Start to come back. Take a deep breath in. Take a complete exhale breath out. Bring your arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a really big stretch. And then a true squeeze of gratitude. Hug your knees to your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. Pull yourself up to seat. Sit up nice and tall. And let your hands just draw to a prayer, or however you're comfortable finishing. Everyone's different. So yoga practices aren't one size fits all, right? Bow your head, have some closure, have some gratitude. Most importantly for our health, bow our heads, lift our heads, open our eyes. Namaste. Thanks guys for joining me. That was awesome.